one second. Let me get reset.
What's up, everybody? This is TEKNOBLAST here on Things Gaming. Thank you for tuning in. I'm back tonight with all things Gamescom and some of the games that have released already, and I have some lined up here on YouTube so we can watch it together with some popcorn and some drinks, some snacks. Got some games that I'm interested in. And it seems like Xbox and Phil Spencer really pissed off a big group of people about Indiana Jones going to PlayStation in the spring of 2025, which I understand the fan base getting pissed. At the same time, I understand why Phil Spencer has to do it, even though he said, you know, Indiana Jones was not next to go to PlayStation. Me and Sick were just talking about that, and you know, what's next? Is it Starfield? I don't know. We'll see. Now we have to kind of get ready. Maybe some more games will be released to PlayStation, or definitely will be released to PlayStation. It's just which ones and when. Ain't that right, Sick?
I think Blade is going to be the one. But shout out to my boy Kieran 717 from the Black Air Force podcast we'll be doing on Space. We just had another episode today.
Nice.
He's sticking to Blade, and I think I concur with that, because Indiana Jones and Blade were the same thing. Remember back when they first announced those, and I was talking about how Addict and them and certain Xbox guys were like, but they don't have the only on Xbox logo or whatever on it, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Right, so I'm thinking, yeah, there was that consistency between the both of those games. So maybe Blade is the other one that might go to PlayStation.
Yeah, could be.
That could be that mouse influence.
Yeah, you never know.
What I'm saying? There's a lot of theories about that. Who really knows? If we ever find out. But I mean, don't really matter to me, man. Like a lot of people running their mouth like, oh, I'm dropping Xbox to go. Yeah, so you can go pay $70 for a game you were getting on Game Pass for free.
So
okay, man. Make yeah, sure. Make Microsoft even more money, because you know that's
you're gonna
smart.
pay full price.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that shit.
So
you were talking about the they got the $30 thing for Indiana Jones as well. I didn't even know they had tiers for that game like that. I should have known, but
well, I didn't know either until Shane. I think it was Shane on Twitter.
Shane G.
Yeah, Shane G. He posted something or reposted it, and says he's like, yeah, I'll definitely get the $35 one and get 3 days or 4 days early access to the game, and have the next DLC included with a digital art book with Indy's iconic look, some kind of Temple of Doom look and everything. So why not? Hey, I'm jumping on that deal too. That's what I did with Starfield. That's what I did with Horizon number 5. You know, I paid a $35 or so to get early access to the games and be able to play them. That is better than paying $70.
Yep.
You know? And I don't know how some people still don't do the math that being on Game Pass.
It's not about the math. It's their bias. That's all. But hey.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a driving factor. It's the bias that they have. But even me to have, like, maybe I'm just not a fanatic enough to be that guy, like the ones on the PlayStation side. But, and I've always said, if PlayStation had day one releases on their PSN subscription service, I would sign up. Automatic. But they don't. And the games that they do have, I played it. I don't like that they rotate out their first party games. Leave it permanent.
They did that the other day again for the week. Yeah.
Give people a reason to really sign up and stay signed in for that service. Right? Whereas PlayStation and Xbox, you know, once they're in, they're in. Other than some licensing issues that have to be delisted, like the Forza games, I mean, those can go away because the newer ones are better anyways. Right? But games like Starfield, the Halos, the Indiana Jones, the Gears, once they go into Game Pass, and we all know this, I don't have to repeat myself, they stay in the service, and that's that. They stay in there since day one.
Yep.
And they don't do that with PSN, and I wish they would do it, because I'm telling you right now, I would sign up.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent, man. Like the PlayStation Plus thing, they try to pretend like it's game. Man, it's not even remotely close at all. But if they were doing the Game Pass dynamic 1-to-1, but just the PlayStation equivalent, right? Bro.
Yeah.
Like, I might finally buy a PS5 off of that. That would make me want to buy a PS5 finally.
And
right?
And if they put all their first party games, as Xbox is doing, and even now with Activision, they're slowly putting stuff in there. Dude, I'll stay signed on because I have a kid.
Bro, you know what? What they should do for me, because it actually benefits them more. And calm down, pony fanboys, hear me fully out. The console is sold at a loss. So if they did it exactly like Game Pass, where also their PC ports of games were included, I wouldn't buy a PlayStation. I would just get that and they get the PC games off of, the Game Pass equivalent. Even though they don't even have that many releases on PC a month anyway.
Yeah.
They do one big game, like last year when they actually had games, right?
Yeah.
They did one big game every like 3 months or so.
Yeah.
Right? And I would still pay the Game Pass equivalent for that on PC, right?
Yeah.
Just to get that on PC.
Yeah.
That would make Sony more money than if they did that and I bought a console, because they're going to lose the money off of me buying the console because they sell those at a loss.
Yeah.
Right? So I would do that. But hey, they're not doing that.
The only so kind of going back with the fan base getting pissed off. It irks me that it's going over there.
Yeah.
Because now we're seeing where PlayStation fans have mocked Phil for being a liar, and I've always shrugged it off. We talked about this before we started. I've always shrugged it off and like, dude, he's been doing a fantastic job.
And he still is, but
he still is. And then he goes and announces, well, Indiana Jones and Starfield not going to PlayStation. Yay! Everybody's happy. Everybody's throwing ammo at PlayStation guys. Like, yeah, you're not gonna get this. And then a few months later, we get to reveal the game with the date and then a splash at the bottom, coming to PlayStation spring of 2025. I was like, oh shit. That is going to piss off a lot of the big, large portion of the fan base.
Hell yeah.
That's going to piss them off. And it did get under my skin when I saw that, because I didn't know until I saw the reveal. I'm like, oh, nice. I wasn't watching Twitter really this whole week or anything like that. And then I saw it and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah.
Now I'm waiting for Realist to come in before we talk about Gamescom, because it dovetails right into Indiana Jones for me, particularly my personal story, right? But the one other thing that I've been thinking about this, right, is like, why announce this now? You're fucking up your holiday sales for Xbox this year. You've just said it's not coming to PlayStation.
They could have saved it
year
after the holidays.
Like they did with those other 4 games.
To make some more sales on consoles, because since people are really important, they'll sell the consoles and shit. And then announce it afterwards and be like,
right,
all right, it's coming.
Exactly.
But
that's what I'm saying.
It, since they're releasing to PlayStation, spring of 2025, we don't know when in spring, just sometime in spring, right? I wish if anything, okay, I have to accept that it's releasing to PlayStation, but I wish they would give it a 1 year time. 1 year, at least 1 year, to just let us sit there and marinate on Game Pass, on Xbox, not the 4 or 5 months that it has. Like, well, why? Yeah.
In the end, I don't think it was really the choice of Phil Spencer or Sarah Bond, but who really knows?
Yeah.
But that just doesn't seem like something they would do so people are blaming Satya Nadella, but who really knows? It could have been
Disney. I know Realist is going to come in and show me the light, but I know it's all
about
here he
is now. Well, here he is now. So what's up, Realist?
He'll tell me why. He'll put in rational words for me to understand. I was like, I get it now.
So yeah.
No, I mean, look, everything. No, everything that everybody says, like, I understand, I agree. they could have let Sony announce it, or let them do their little video. But then again, you're not doing the game justice.
Yeah.
If Sony's not going to promote it the way they promote things that they have marketing deals with, because that's what's the point of a multi-plat if you're just gonna like shadow drop it, kind of like what's going on with Final Fantasy and PC. Like it just hit one day.
Yep.
But
or it will.
I think and well they announced it. I mean, they didn't announce it. They just put the pre-order available. But
yeah.
So Satya says that he doesn't like exclusives, right? And a lot of people, when he was in court, he said he wouldn't have it. He wished he didn't have exclusives, but the competitor has exclusives. So we know that the game was already being developed for PlayStation. And if they don't put it out there that it's coming, then you're basically hurting the game. Like exclusivity does nothing for the actual games.
Yeah.
Like it does not help the franchises. It hurts the franchises. And we're seeing that through Square and others saying that we're not, but we've already known, like I've been saying it for years, that Square is the last AAA publisher left that's doing time exclusivity. Eventually they'll quit. So if you're going to bring it to PlayStation, just put it out there. Excuse me, because in all honesty, Indiana Jones wasn't going to sell a whole bunch of Xboxes.
Yeah,
really we know that. Same thing. Yeah. Same thing with Doom. Doom's not going to sell a bunch of Xboxes. It's not going to sell a whole bunch of units. Period. It might be beloved, but it's not going to necessarily move the needle if they're trying to sell Xboxes.
Yeah.
But I guess Xbox is not considering, or the people, whoever made this decision to announce this the way they did, they're not even trying. They it's like they have no faith. You know what I mean? Let's just put it out there. But if they're going to sell it on PlayStation and want to sell a lot, just let them know it's coming. Because if it's about the games, which it should be, which I believe it is, let them know it's coming. And if you don't believe that they're going to go buy an Xbox to play it in either case, just go ahead and put it out there. The Xbox fans will be upset. I won't be upset until I start seeing games like what's the name of the game that's by the I company, The Initiative. If Perfect Dark comes out and they announce this on PlayStation, then I'm gonna have a real big problem with Xbox. When it comes to Bethesda, they've always said case by case. We already know that there were development dollars spent, and then now we're looking at money that was spent, and that means you're gonna just throw away all that money that they put into the PlayStation port. Supposedly, Redfall was gonna be on PlayStation 2, but nobody feels like they missed anything with that game. But Indiana Jones, it was already going to be multi-plat. It was already in development. That's why it's coming so soon. The best thing they could do is put the game.
Starfield, though. No,
I don't think that's. Was Starfield in development? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it had to be probably, but how much of the development? And Starfield, like Phil Spencer said, Starfield's going to make money. Now, if they do put it on PlayStation, it depends on when. You know what I mean? If you look at the way some of these time exclusives are, it's like if they're actually moving the needle, if they're actually moving units, they're actually moving people towards your platform. We know that it moves people towards Game Pass back when it first dropped. We know that people were buying Xboxes for Starfield back when it first dropped. So it actually moved the needle. It's one of those titles that moves the needle. Now, Elder Scrolls, people were saying that, oh, we know for a fact. People were saying, oh, Blade, we know it for a fact. Blade was announced without any PlayStation in mind. But at some point, Xbox has to compete. If they're really not in on hardware, Blade will be the game that shows me that they are, depending on when they release it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense for PlayStation. Look, if they've gone through all this time of talking to Square, getting Square to see with they finally got to see on their own that exclusivity is killing these games. Why repeat it? If you know you're gonna put it over there, promote it, help the people over there get excited about it. And the people who really want to play it, the 100, 200 people that really want to play it are gonna go buy an Xbox. But does 200 people really move the needle for Microsoft? No. You know what I mean? Is it gonna even sell a bunch of Game Pass subscriptions? For us geezers, maybe. But the people that they're really looking to capture, they don't even know who Andy is. My boy just took my, like, remember I told you, I said he told me Goonies was mid, and then on the Goonies DVD was Indiana Jones promo. I said, you want to watch that series next? There's a whole bunch of Indiana Jones. He said, I don't know, son. He said, I don't know, Dad. Let me think about it. So when it comes to Indy, we think it's a big deal, and the movie came out with very little fanfare.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that it's about the software. You don't want to kill the software. If you're not selling consoles, you have to be selling software. So put it out there. And if they don't trust PlayStation to put it out the way they want it put out, and also you got to understand it's a whole big chess game. If Microsoft really believes what they sent Phil Spencer out there to say, like he says, exclusives will mean less and less to all of the consoles over the next 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They really believe that. They're setting an example to how you set up your game on a competitor's platform unashamedly, right? That sounds really cuckish. That sounds really corny, but they have to lead by example. If they're the ones who really believe this and that they're gonna that this is the way the industry is going. The Moon Studios guy, the top guy, I believe Xbox needs to be the one to put their games on other platforms. They need to lead the charge, right? It's like, why Xbox? Everybody's always wanted Xbox to put their games on other platforms. Like, why doesn't PlayStation?
Yeah.
But they're doing it, and if they're gonna do it, they might as well do it right. You don't want to. If you're not doing the game any service, if you're just gonna just throw it out there, hey, yeah, let the people know, hey. And then Indy is not even big over there anyway. Indy's gonna make his noise over here most. But I don't like it. But I understand what they're doing. Us as Xbox fans, we gotta understand that they have way too much content to just say, oh, we're gonna make everything exclusive on 30, 35 million consoles, right? If it doesn't blow up on PC, it's gonna go to other platforms in time. The only See, this is the same thing with like Sony. Like any of their next gen games, they've all up until Spider-Man, they were games that weren't gonna sell a lot of units. Like, oh, Demon Souls is next gen, Ratchet and Clank is next gen. Neither of those games ever sold, right? You look at the sales of Demon Souls, and then they're still asking for Bloodborne and things like that. So there's a whole lot of different ways to look at it. I don't like it. It was kind of embarrassing to me. It made me not even want to talk about consoles for a couple days. I'm seeing that Phil Spencer saying things like "stop console war," and it's like, look, man, I know you want everybody to be in this like harmonious existence, but that's not the way it's ever been. That's not the way how anything is. Apple and Android people talk junk about each other all day. I tell you all the time because I was so shocked when it happened that the Kirby people like just take a dump on everybody's vacuum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like really? Like people argue about anything, Republicans and Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
NBA teams, MLB teams, there's always going to be this division. And that, to me, I think that the people with the most fans, those are the people that win, right? Yeah. You got a whole bunch of people up with Apple phones that sit back and talk about people on Android phones and how we're trash and how our phones are cheap. Like Samsung Galaxies and Oppos don't exist, right? It's crazy, but yeah, I don't like it at all. I can't stress that enough that I do not like it. But Bill Gates, maybe Microsoft's going back to their core. Content is king. But how do you sell your hardware? Because there's so many things that go with being successful on hardware. Xbox has Game Pass. Most of the Game Pass subscribers are on Xbox. They're on console. They're you know that they're not doing as good as they want to on PC because they don't have the nuts to raise the price.
Yeah.
Right? They talk like they are. This we have more console players than ever before. What the hell is a console? Is every screen an Xbox? Are we counting monthly active users? It's not consoles that they're counting. It's something that are we saying that the PC is a console because it has an Xbox app? You know what I mean? I don't know if their belief is in their console, but at the end of the day, there's only a few games that actually move the needle when it comes to console. Call of Duty, sports games, the platform games like Fortnite, and the game that they had that could actually change the trajectory of their console sales. FTC told them and everybody else that, oh, we got to put it on PlayStation, as if PlayStation couldn't withstand it, or if they couldn't stand to lose some. It's so bad for Xbox over there, man. They needed some kind of boom, man, and it was taken away from them. So at this point, I think they have to try to commit themselves to things outside the console, and they're not going to be as gung ho. And I think that any game that underperforms, you might as well look forward to it going to other platforms. The only game that performed out of the four was Sea of Thieves. That took years. We don't know how much they actually made. We know, like, they hype up the player numbers. We don't know how much they're actually making. And if they were happy with it, would never have gone on PlayStation. Or maybe they are trying to drag that little bit of extra production out of it. Because, I mean, some of these games are not selling with these timed exclusivity deals. This is why I believe that Stalker is a 3-month exclusive now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And that game's going to sell the most on PC. Console players don't even know what Stalker is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. There's no sense for, like, if we're fanboys, right? We're I don't know if we're fanboys, us three, but I know we like our Xbox, we like our Microsoft games.
Well, we're not at the level where something like this happens. We're gonna go ballistic. We're gonna cry about it on TikTok or Twitter, and then throw the console into the trash can or chop it up in half.
Never that.
We're not at that level of fanisms or whatever you want to call it. Being fanatic that much. But it does get under my skin. Like when I saw that little label coming to PlayStation 2025, I was like, oh, come on, man. Really?
Yeah. I mean, they hyped us all up. This
Yeah.
Xbox at Gamescom, and at the very end, they got the biggest CUNT, the bane of our video game trailer viewing existence. One more thing.
Yeah.
And he lit up when he said it. We know he doesn't like Xbox. Xbox continues to throw him alley-oops. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I know why when it comes to the Game Awards, what, 100 million viewers, you know, all those things. I guess at that point, you kind of have to deal with them. You kind of have to do something with them. But all of that rolled up together just equaled a huge slap in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's my problem with it. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It's just like any other game. You know, I'm just surprised that Indiana Jones, like, they announced it before it even hit Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most Xbox people aren't even excited about it anymore. Well, the people who, to me, we matter, the hardcore. Nobody's happy about the way it was presented. Nobody's happy that it's happening. And quite honestly, I don't think that the PlayStation community buys games like that. I don't think that they're the community that you like kowtow to. You know what I mean?
I don't really think so either.
The PC community is a community that I think that should never have to wait for a game.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna go PC, like, PlayStation is starting to go PC.
Well, how did they react when Tomb Raider came out on Xbox first and then a year later?
Oh, when does it come out on PlayStation? Xbox is horrible. Your boy, y'all boy, because I wasn't on the internet that long. I found out Brian McCaffrey. I saw the clips of him.
How dare you
This
call that my boy?
I remember that. Yeah.
I know that it's not his boy either. You, sir, watch your tone,
I
sir.
do not look because I got on like gaming internet, like YouTube, Series X time. I ain't know anything about anything, and so this guy, I saw the clips of him. Nobody's winning, but with console warriors, like.
Nope.
But then Final Fantasy is a huge win for PlayStation.
Yes.
But he's supposed to be an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Dude, Final Fantasy has been on a steady decline since '97.
Yeah.
Other than their MMO, because their MMO is accessible by way more people. Square is got a hard road ahead of them. Sega's been. This is what all these Japanese companies should take notes from Sega. The same way you built your fan base on PlayStation or Nintendo is the same way you have to build it on PC and Xbox. You don't just give them one game and not the other in a series. You fully commit. And eventually you'll have enough players on all platforms. Sega has been committed. Like every game is multiplayer now.
Yeah.
The only reason why it's not on Nintendo is because it can't run most of these games. But I would bet that these games are going to find their way on the Switch successor.
On the next one.
Whatever they call it. Because I was listening to one guy. He was like, Nintendo has never done numerical upgrades. I'm like, damn, that is true.
Yeah,
but Switch 2
it's always been names.
The Switch would be.
Well, they did once. The Wii to
what?
the Wii U.
That's not a 2.
It's not a 2, but but function in every other way you would consider, right? Because putting a number 2 at the end of the name shouldn't mean shit. Like, it needs to mean more than that. And I would say the Wii to the Wii U is everything but the number.
But what I'm saying is, we've been calling it a Switch 2, and I thought it had a nice ring to it. I thought Switch is the perfect name for a product. PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is boring. Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, like Xbox is kind of like schizo with their naming, but the Switch was their most popular console, and I'm like, man, Switch 2, that does have a nice ring, and everybody's been calling it Switch 2, and I was listening to a guy who's like, they've never gone through the numbers like that. I'm like, damn, they are gonna call it something else.
Only
but all those games. But I think all those games are going to find their way on the Switch, whatever. You know what I mean? And Square has to figure out a way to.
There you go.
A lot of people are saying Super Switch, but I don't.
Yeah, that was originally the name I saw, not Switch 2. But it's only recently now I'm hearing Switch 2. Yeah.
If they're going to call it a Switch 2, it's got to be gray with purple buttons. But
you know they're going to have at least one variant, I would think, if they went with that name.
I hope. Because, you got a lot of people with these custom PlayStation 5 controllers that look like PlayStation 1 controllers, and PlayStation hasn't done that. You got people with the that are custom making. See, that's the beauty, I guess, of Xbox and their design lab. You can create whatever you want. Because you got some people with the color scheme of the 360 controller.
But a 360 controller, I've also seen of the Dreamcast, right? Like, they get the buttons to match Dreamcast. I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that as close to Super Nintendo as I think the design lab will allow, right, with their choices. So yeah, but one other thing I want to talk about when we talk about all this exclusivity thing, like, what next thing that Microsoft is supposed to get that may eventually come to PlayStation as well? Now that we see what's going on, no, but particularly just Blade, because that was the other game I was saying earlier to Tech here about. That's the only other game. Remember when they first announced it, that the Xbox logo wasn't there, and Addict and a couple other people were like, but look, at the end they don't put the logo there, right? Well, okay, so it was Indiana Jones and Blade that both did that. I don't know which got announced first between those two games.
Indy was announced a while back, right? But Indy has been in development for a while. Blade
Right,
wasn't
it's
even
next year.
in development when they announced it.
Yeah, that just started. They said
Hmm
they just finished the design phase or whatever, where they're actually going to start development proper.
Yeah, they hadn't even started development. They're getting together. But the thing is, it's like they only put that out there because it was the anniversary.
Yeah,
You know, it was one of those way too early announcements. But I think the thing that gonna factor in with Blade is how popular, how much buzz. You know, I think eventually a lot of these games are gonna find their way on PlayStation. Just a matter of how long they're gonna be exclusive.
See,
You see what Starfield was going on. How long is it? Is it a
a
year?
year in November, I think. Or
Yeah,
October.
and then the DLC is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's Phil Spencer was confident. Starfield, he says Starfield's going to make money. But the problem is, if you're selling hardware, what is going to bring people to your hardware if you don't have the nuts to stand on your exclusives?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, what I mean, we know that we know what business is, right? The business is the games are the most important thing, but that's not the way we've always handled it, right? Bill Gates said content is king, so people would go for the content. And if people aren't coming for the content, then you won't have the nuts to believe in it. So I'm starting to believe that maybe they don't really care to sell consoles, and it's just they just want Xbox to be an option. If games like Fable, Forza, Halo, any of the games that are not publisher games, right? Because any of the big games that were already that would have come to PlayStation if Xbox hadn't bought them, those to me are all up for consideration unless Xbox feels like they could really be movers. The game by Elsewhere Studio, we have to see what that is. You know, games like Call of Duty, we knew that that was already going to go. If there's a new game by Infinity War, because a lot of people are like, oh, Microsoft, because this is what I always said, that if PlayStation was so scared of Call of Duty, because I identified PlayStation's problem years ago,
Mm-hmm.
they're too dependent on third party.
Absolutely.
Anything that comes up that they are afraid to compete with or not willing to compete with, they'll just give up if they're doing anything similar and move on to something else, which is smart but not smart.
Right.
Because if you look at it, they've given up on all their shooters,
Yep.
right? They
hmm
bought Destiny, but before Destiny, they didn't have any shooters. You know what I mean? That they own. They gave up on all of them. We know the names. Y'all know the names of better than I do, but they've given up on all of them. Japan
Distance,
Studio,
Killzone, and yeah.
Mag. There's
Right.
another one.
SOCOM,
But they've
all
given
that stuff.
SOCOM. There's another one too. Warhawk. They've given up on all of them.
Warhawk was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you always hear that. The problem is that at PlayStation, Xbox Two, they've done a horrible job with training their consumer base to love their games. Like Halo came out, and Halo was a revelation, right? But as time went on, people started to go to third party, and then they started fighting for third party deals, third party supremacy. And then what does that do? That makes people come to your console, but not for what you're bringing.
Yeah.
PlayStation can sell 200 million consoles and 15 million units of a video game, and then half of those video game sales are at $12, $15, $20. Like this is why we can't keep hyping up these overall sales numbers unless you're Nintendo. Nintendo sales numbers are the only ones that look up and say, "Damn, the math is easy." You can look at those and say times 60.
Yeah, because they
You
never
know what I
dropped in
mean?
price. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because people came to play to Nintendo for Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't even lower the prices on third party the way that their competitors do. Nintendo has not become the whore that these two have. The problem with the problem now that we're going to start coming across is that Microsoft is a $3 trillion company. They cannot move the way companies 30 times smaller than them do. They can't think the way the companies 30 times smaller than them do. If Microsoft was still worth $70 billion like the other would, they would be fighting. Well, they probably wouldn't even fight, they quit. Let's just say they were worth 150 billion, right? they would probably have some fight in them. But they can't move like Nintendo. Nintendo is content to be making 2 billion a quarter. The stock price is like $15. They're not really looking to do much more. They have some theme parks and hotels, but it's cool. You know what I mean? We're gonna make sure that we control this lane and we stay in this lane and we're dominant in this lane and let those two guys over there fight it out. Sony, their hardware is falling off. Their console is being threatened, whether their fans know it or not. Their console's existence is, their ownership of that console is being threatened because if they can't compete, Amazon's still coming. They got a game coming. Whether you buy it or not, Google's hanging around there. Google's trying to be friends with PlayStation. Apple is still making more money than anybody else in gaming. They're still waiting. They're still just watching to see what goes on. If PlayStation can't compete, what are they gonna do? Eventually, these games. Look, what games are they making? They've got 5 studios that actually make games that people care about, and it might be even less now. Right? You got whoever what's that, Insomniac, and I can't even count Ratchet. So let's just see how Asobi does with Astro Boy. You got Naughty Dog. You got Sucker Punch. Ben to a very, very, very lesser extent. You got Santa Monica, right? And if you want to count San Diego, they got the little engine that could that just stays over there going about its business. So we'll give them 6 studios that make games. Takes those guys 5 to 7 years to make a game. Those games cost 200 to 300 million, 150 million. PlayStation, if you look at their spend compared to what they make, their business model is flawed. And that's their leading unit over there at Sony.
Yeah.
All that's being threatened. Sony's not an innovator in the hardware space anymore. Very, very little. They do have their lenses. Their phones. Nobody's buying Xperias. They're not buying the televisions.
You know what?
I ain't gonna lie.
I almost bought one of their Xperia phones because I was really checking out the specs and what it can do, and they're actually really good phones. It's just
they're nice.
They're nice, yeah, but nobody's buying them.
They do over there. Sony has a huge presence in Europe. I know some Africans from the UK, and that's what they use. They were at the time they were using those Xperias, and I wanted it because it was big before it was the big phones were popular.
Phablets.
They were phablets before phablets became a thing, dude. These phones were huge, like literal. You know, I know, sick. You might remember like Nexus
fold size.
Like 7-inch. I want to say there was phone.
You know, like Nexus. Sick. Remember the Nexus?
Yes,
tablet.
I remember. Yes.
Like that size, like almost
like
7 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
what I was
huge,
saying.
bro.
Dell had one that my friend Wetworks had.
Well, Nokia had that 1520 Windows Phone, man. That was a good one.
That was a wonderful.
I'm talking about Xperia though. This was Sony with those huge phones.
Sony. Yeah, they still have those Xperia phones, and they're still top tier phones. They're great. Just like Sony's stuff has always traditionally been super high end and expensive, right? Like those Walkmans they have, right? Where it has like the screen on the front that animates like a cassette tape, right? And like depending on the quality of your MP3 or digital file, on the type of cassette that's represented on the screen, is different. Yeah. In fact, I was watching a video review about one of those the day before yesterday on YouTube, and then the dude bought a case, right, that you could put it in that makes it further look like an old Walkman, right? But it had like a screen up front. The case cost $150, but he knew it was like this expensive ass Sony thing. It has a high quality DAC and shit like that, high res audio, but it's way overpriced for what it really is. That's traditional Sony. But listen, guys, I might have to leave pretty early on, so I think we need to switch on to the next subject about Gamescom itself. And my comments on that are pretty quick.
Go ahead.
Because so yesterday, what was it? Yesterday morning? Yesterday, yes. So it started at Eastern time, 11, I think it was. So I was off. Make sure I was up like an hour before. Got my morning routine done. I was up, fresh pot of coffee, fresh cup here, ready. 20 minutes in, I fell out asleep. It was that boring, and woke up just at the very end when they were talking about Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That's how boring it got. One of the last things I remember, they were going through another bunch of these like stupid indie games. And I'm cool with indie games, but not some of these indie games where you see they got that same generic style, and like 6 people are gonna play them, and they're not even like a traditional type of genre or nothing. They're just like, I don't know, some weird character walking around with I don't know, bro. I don't want to like make it a kind of like, I don't know what kind of people are ever playing these kind of games, where there's so many types of games coming out. But yeah, Gamescom seemed so freaking.
Wait.
It literally put me to sleep when I was well rested that night. Had fresh coffee. I'd already drank some of it, so I know I got caffeine in myself, and I still knocked right f out.
All right, so I know Gamescom this week, but these are just beginner shows that happen right now, right? They're not the big one that Xbox usually does. That's till Sunday, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
I'm not even sure. The first night they had things, and then all the other days, including today, I think, which might have been the last day, they're like, not stage stuff, but like they're going around talking to developers or whatnot. I don't know if IGN was actually doing it. In fact, like on the Gamescom account, they had one they were doing for every day where they were like streaming out stuff. I saw today. Not today. It must have been yesterday.
Okay, so it started yesterday and ends Sunday.
Okay, yeah. So the day before yesterday was actually when Gamescom started. Then
it started. Yeah,
right?
that's the kickoff. Yeah.
Right, that was day before.
But Xbox has their own dedicated one until Sunday, isn't that right?
I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna have to look into that. But yesterday I did see the indie game, and it was a black woman as a host, and it was really stupid. Like, and shout out to Wandering Dutch. I have some other issues what he's been saying lately, although he seems to have he's gotten over his emotions and said more sensible shit since. But the one thing I will give him eternal credit for, his indie showcases that he does. I think he does like twice a year, maybe even, right? Like still way better than any big name outlets, with money and time and all types of stuff, right? Like his thing is way better because it's just, game after game after game. Eventually you see somebody, from the YouTube community come in, they talk and they say, hey, blah, 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 and they show more games. You know what I'm saying? Like they get to the content, no bullshit, no fuss, no more. It's much like Xbox did during E3 earlier this summer, right?
Yeah.
But this indie thing, bro, that they did yesterday, oh my God, it was horrible. Nothing of interest. But this I'm actually watched those, right? It was just so stupid. Like this Gamescom largely overall was a real letdown. The only good thing that I'd seen out of it was, the Jeep or whatever for Starfield, and the fact that it was announced and was up that day, like an hour or two later, I was already downloading it. I tweeted it, it already downloaded update. And then Genshin Impact, which I thought, must have been pretty little because I was like 300 megs, but I don't know what I was thinking, because that is the size of a stub with Xbox. When you could preload Stalker 2 for months now, but it's really just download like 300 megs. Yeah. And then later on, when the game is up for the, for the full download, your system, if you have it set to the sleep mode, it'll automatically download in the background, right? So like, I guess that's what that 300 megs was. But it's supposed to come out in like November, I think. So yeah, Genshin Impact is finally coming out. I've never tried it on mobile and stuff because I hear some negative things about control support and stuff. And plus, I don't want to be playing a game like that.
So, is there anything you are looking forward to that have you seen so far?
So, like I said, the Starfield expansion, which I already was.
Yeah.
Genshin Impact. Seeing some more about Delta Force. They changed the name. It's not Hawkeye anymore. It's just Delta Force. Right? But even then, the footage they showed I've seen before. I'm already in the alpha on Steam. And so tried that out. They showed off Mecha Break. You could sign up for the NDA covered Xbox version. Yeah. So you'll have to sign an NDA with that and sign up the DocuSign. I may have or may not.
Well, if I don't click OK, I can talk about it though, right?
But I've already played Mecha Break on Steam because I had signed up for that too, and that didn't really have no crazy NDA with it, right?
Yeah.
with the Xbox version, it does. So I may or may not have been accepted and have signed the NDA and wouldn't be able to talk too much about it. But I have played the Steam version, and yeah, that was a bit of a learning curve even for enthusiasts like myself. So those are the games that I most am looking forward to. I'll try out Indiana Jones, but Indiana Jones is not my style of game per se. I'll try it out. So
Well, if you got Game Pass, why not?
Stalker 2 was the other thing, but I think they showed a trailer of that like just last week before.
Yeah, we saw a few of them already, so it's like,
yeah, Gamescom.
okay, just give me the game already, you know?
Right. I didn't really need Gamescom for too much this year, but Gamescom is usually like, but they do recycle some stuff from E3. They may look more polished, or maybe some stuff that didn't get announced at E3 then they announced it at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Nothing really thus far has happened this year in that regard. The biggest thing, of course, was the whole drama with Indiana Jones, but besides that, we already knew the game was coming out, and it was coming out sometime this year anyway, and it ain't shit really changed in that regard. I really don't know anything of note that was new and freshly announced this year that has anybody's real interest like that. Yeah, Gamescom overall was kind of a letdown. Now I ain't gonna find it.
Was it mid? Like the
it was below mid. Like if I had to give that show overall a score,
yeah,
dude, it put me to sleep. That's an automatic F. It literally put me to sleep when I was well rested. I slept a full night's sleep.
yeah.
Already drank some coffee. It's like caffeine was already flowing in me, and it was so boring. I fell asleep.
That's pretty
like
bad.
The fuck. And I wasn't like sleeping like like I woke up early and then I still have a little smidge of sleep in my back.
Yeah.
Of my mind. You know what I'm saying? So I was fully rested and ready to go to watch, and even if it was a bad show, like I wasn't expecting I'd like to be so bored that I'd fall asleep.
Yeah.
So overall, bro, nah, nothing. And the one thing I could say that I do remember seeing before I fell asleep was Borderlands being announced after the super lackluster response to the movie. Like, and even though this is just really a CG announcement, they really have nothing to show yet. Like, bro.
Well, if
I
they
always
focus,
say how this game is
since
doesn't understand what
that
they're
little
doing, this is a bad time to show that.
They gave,
that was a bad time to show that. Ugh.
If they focus a lot on that mask landing and just showing it, I'm curious if they're gonna make you as that character, as the main character,
or one of those guys, right, with those masks all the time that they have. I can only imagine. Or a guy who used to be one of those, but he wised up finally.
Yeah,
maybe
he kind of broke away from the system and he's on his own, but he still looks like the rest of the guys that wear those masks. But we'll see. We'll see how it is.
We'll see.
But
and I hope Anthony Burch isn't writing the story this time. Ugh.
I mean,
what?
Tiny Tina Wonderland was a change compared to the previous Borderlands, so I enjoyed that. I do like how they changed the format a little bit, like a game board and and the way they did it. But if you played the numbered Borderlands games, you played one Borderland, you played them all. It's just different characters, different villains, different. Maybe I don't know if that's the same planet, Pandora, I think.
Yeah.
But so they'll have to do something like a major change on what they do with this next Borderlands and to get me to buy it. Because usually I'm day one. I actually have all the digital games, so I've enjoyed them. But at the same time, once you start, I don't know. I guess once you get past number 3, it kind of gets like, all right, I know what to expect. You're not surprising me with anything new, other than new villains. That's it. Or new characters too. New vault. What are they called? Vault dwellers? Not vault dwellers. Vault hunters?
I think it's Vault Hunters, I think.
Yeah. So, we'll see. I got quite a few that caught my attention. I'm not saying I'm getting every one of them, but there was a few. Like the Dying Light one is a DLC. I like to continue the story on what's going on this The Beast DLC. Of course, with Indiana Jones as well. Definitely look at that one. Beyond Galaxy. I like these type of games. These little 8-bit looking or whatever pixel looking games. I got a few games that or similar to that, and I'm gonna check that one out. Akimebot. This one actually, this one, if you have seen it, let's see if this is the one. Akimebot. Yeah, this one actually reminds me of Ratchet and Clank, like Rift Apart. Like it has the traversing. It has your main character, which your little side character just won't shut up. He's over here, like all this. This is Ratchet and Clank, right? The way he pulled himself with the grapple, it's the same way he got Ratchet got pulled into the little portal thingies. And the same thing with the wall running. The same thing when doing this part of the game where he's like platforming across fire. It's the same look and feel of Ratchet and Clank.
And all the platforms look alike, like they're just recycling things, because, behind the scenes in Ratchet and Clank, that's how they did the fast loading thing, right?
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of easily repeated textures and stuff, so you didn't have to actually load a lot. And then those little platforms, if you notice, there's a lot of repeating textures and stuff. Maybe they're doing that same kind of idea. So it does seem like that kind of game. If I was awake at the time, I would have been like, oh, snap. That does look interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, like, take a look at this and, like, put Ratchet and Clank side by side, and you'll see how similar they are.
Yeah. Those platforms right there just happened again. Repeating textures. Yeah. That's like Ratchet and Clank style game for Xbox. Boom. But
I'm not hating on Ratchet and Clank because I actually enjoyed it.
It's a great franchise. I'm just saying, like, this is Xbox's new equivalent to Ratchet and Clank. Xbox got one now. Is anybody talking about that? Nope. I haven't never heard about this till just now. Like, Xbox fans are so busy going nuts over a game they're still getting first before PlayStation's gonna pay $70 for it. So they're funding our Game Pass addictions for us. So thank you, by the way, PlayStation dummies, right? And meanwhile, we have a platformer that's our own Ratchet and Clank. This is the guys coming to PlayStation. It's Xbox only, the logo said.
Yeah.
But is anybody talking about it? No.
No. Now this one caught my attention only because I like mech battles, mech arenas, mech stuff. Anything that's mech related. It was Mech Break.
Me too. Mecha Break. Yeah. Yep. I may or may not be on the NDA on the Xbox version, but I can tell you Steam version. Fun.
Yeah. So I want to check this out when it comes out. I like these type of mech games. Pretty fast.
Absolutely.
Very fast pace. It looks like they have a good a great selection of different classes or types of mechs, which is always welcoming.
Was Delta Force on that show itself? I did see it at a different point, but was Delta Force there?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
At that first show? Because on PC, it still doesn't have any controller support. It's strictly keyboard and mouse.
Yeah. And
it's seeming like what's going on with that game. I saw another YouTuber assume this as well. I'm thinking what they're going to do it because they have no set date for when this demo or beta, whatever you want to call it, right? That people that signed up for that have access to is going to end.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking what they're really going to do is just keep it going because it's a free-to-play game, right?
Oh, is it?
So, yeah, Delta Force is a free-to-play game.
Oh, Delta Force. I thought you meant this one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this as well, I believe.
Oh.
I believe as well. This is also free-to-play. So, what I'm saying is, I think what's going to happen, particularly with Delta, but I don't know if that's happening with this, although maybe it will. Who knows, right? But let me actually say what it is, I think. That I think what's going to happen is that they're never actually going to end the beta or whatever they calling it, right? They'll just keep updating, and then one day it'll be the full version. Right? And then they'll just reset everybody's stats day one, and then that'll be that. That's the expectation from some of the YouTubers, and even myself before I started YouTubers, I started thinking along the same lines that that's what's going to happen. Maybe Mecha Break will do the same thing, who knows? But they both games look very polished already. Complete, like they're very low in the way of bugs or any kind of like real jank. No, I haven't played the console version of either one. And I'm waiting for Delta Force because on PC it has no controller support at all on PC thus far. They better not ever have controller support because I want to main it on PC, get that higher fidelity. Supposed to be crossplay, so I don't know. But dude, like if some people already want to be all mad at Call of Duty because remember yesterday, last week I was telling you about that mod. So the next day, Activision come and killed it, but it got spread out anyway, right? But it already started, like a little bit of a like a fanboy, like a fan civil war where they're starting to what do you call that? When you go on Steam and you put up bad reviews, review bombing on Black Ops 6,
Yeah.
right? Which otherwise has been pretty well received since announcement, right? Because with all the movement mechanics and stuff that they added, which by the way they're also gonna add a third person thing. God, hooray for that, right? But because of what they did with the mod, it got a little bit of stink on it, right? So besides that, but that's just one of very many reasons why some people may not want to play Call of Duty in it, and they'll want an alternative, and Delta Force is very much looking like that. And one last thing about that is that the name is not Delta Force Hawk Ops anymore. It's just Delta Force. They changed the name yesterday.
Isn't that a Chuck Norris movie?
Yes, it just came to 4K very recently. I was watching it the other day.
It's like, why does that sound so familiar? And I'm like,
yeah, right. The same Delta Force, right? And they're also making a remaster of the original Delta Force game from back in the day on PC, right? That was a game that it was very popular in Asia as well as with Europe and with the PC community of the time.
Yeah.
But it was also very popular in Asia. This is why the developers are actually Asian or Chinese, right? This is a Korean-made game. Mecha Break is, I believe, and it's also the first game I've heard where they're using that NVIDIA AI thing where you can talk to NPCs.
Yeah.
I saw a video of that today where, that's actually implemented in the game where you can talk to the NPCs and they're like, AI generated response when they talk to you and stuff. So, yeah, both games had some interest, but they're both free to play. That's pretty damn cool. So, I mean, once again, Gamescom didn't show me anything of note that I really cared about, that I knew about, but that one mech game, now I got my eye on that. We'll see where that goes.
This one is Karma, the Next World. I guess I didn't pick a good trailer. This one has it's very story based. I think it's gonna be more of a psychological thing going on.
It's starting to remind me of Twin Peaks with all those clocks right there in that shot.
Yeah. This is my type of games where it's just kind of sit back, chill, and just take it in. Blackwater reminds me of Death Stranding, but no delivery stuff here.
Absolutely, yeah. No walking simulator shit.
So this is a story one I'm interested in. We'll see. We'll see how. See, I like this word stuff, man. People floating in the air for no reason. TV people, skibbity toilet type stuff.
Straight up skibbity toilet for real. Yeah,
it was a TV guys, man. The skibbity toilet. I mean, look. Oops, where'd it go? Dang it! I fast forward too or rewind too much. Let's see. Not the hunch, but there they go. These are skibbity toilets. They're in suits. They're all decked out with a TV head on. Yeah. This is skibbity toilet. Another one was Retrieval. This looks pretty sick. I liked it. Let's see what this remind me of. Oh, it's a space game, but I don't know if it's coming. Oh yeah, it's helped by PlayStation, but it's coming to everything: PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Another.
Well, PlayStation Spain helped them out with some development. It must be a Spanish development team if it was PlayStation Spain specifically that helped them, but who knows? Ooh, jeez.
Yeah, so it's my type of games. These are cool. I like these. And then we got Spine, which I'm trying to pinpoint what this reminds me of. Kind of like
Wanted Dead.
Wanted Dead. What's that?
Yeah, remember that cop chick with the robotic arm, I think.
Yes.
With the sword and the.
It's like Team Ninja guys or something like that.
Yeah, but this is kind of early in animation, but I see where they're going with it. We used to have games like this on 360 or original Xbox, PS2, PS3
Yeah.
era, right? But we stopped having games like these.
Yeah,
for
so
a
it's
little
like
while there.
it's like this reminds me of some game. I can't pinpoint it, but
Yeah.
I know it's something I've played before. But
Yeah, like Wanted Dead or Wet or
Wet, that was the one I was
Wet.
gonna say.
Wet. That's the one. Yeah.
I was gonna say
Like
Wet.
it just, yeah, the animation and the frame rate, you know, looking a little jank, but that's also your feed. But I could also tell them, you know, but it does say in development early footage.
Yeah.
This is gun fu. Yeah. See, this is reminds me of Wanted Dead most in terms of gameplay and stuff. But yeah, we'll see what's up with this. But this seems like it's, you know, it's still pretty early, but it's already looking pretty solid. We'll give it time and see what it becomes.
And the last one is Starfield Shattered Space.
Yeah,
This
man,
is-
we're
this
gonna
is a
find
good
more
one.
about the
Ain't no,
about how it's ruined and stuff.
yeah, and then and real Sick just reminded me that I purchased that $35 deal, you know, to play it a few days early, but then it includes the DLC too. And I was gonna buy it. I was like, oh crap! It's like it sure does come with the DLC.
Yeah, that was the main point of paying that $35. Paying that
Yeah.
$30. The bonus was the playing early. You paid that much just to play early, forgetting or like you thought that's what you had, but nah, it was because you get the DLC.
Yeah, you get the DLC
But I mean,
too. I
yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah.
And then also yesterday or the day before yesterday, I guess, when they announced the not only the Jeep but also the 60 frame support for the Series S. So I've seen it peaking as high as 80 frames on average
Oh, nice.
on Series S. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see. You know.
Yeah, the S is a nice little beast, man. I played
Yeah,
that
bro.
QuakeCon all weekend long with my S.
Yeah, man. Don't believe the hype with all the bullshit they tell you. This is
Yeah.
why I'm starting to really, you know, stick to the concept that you were amongst the first I've seen anywhere on the internet talk about this, bro. And maybe this
It's like,
handheld
don't
some
discount
variation
the
of
S, man. Yeah.
of a handheld Series S in just handheld form, right? It could
Yeah.
have that that SSD slot in the back, right? So you can, hot swap right from your, your Series X or S
How
at
nice
home.
would that
Maybe that would
be?
be great.
Put in your expandable storage on there.
I mean, it would be expensive, I feel, but because that storage is expensive,
Yeah.
you can find here and there, but overall still is expensive, although slowly dropping over time, right?
Yeah.
But like that would be the best thing, is because that the nature of that is expensive.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, where would this be now? I've made many examples of how that could be leveraged. Like that could be the physical media for the Xbox instead of using a disc.
Yeah.
Rewritable. But I've broken this time many times in the past. But that would also fit in it if the handheld is really just a Series S, and maybe there's a mode where it can go in a PC mode where it does run Windows.
Ooh.
Maybe or some variant thereof where they change the shell, right? The Windows interface to be just some kind of like like the Xbox dashboard, or maybe they port the Xbox dashboard itself. Not that they're definitely not doing that, because they're beta testing that new what do you call it, the game bar, right?
Mhm.
It's better but also jank in a way, right? Like I've been putting it to through its paces. I'm still feeling like it's a little jank, but I see where they're going with it. But overall, man, you were amongst the first. No, not amongst the first, the first who put that theory out there, and I still subscribe that would be a great thing to do. But we'll soon see.
That would be awesome.
We'll soon see where that ends up.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Oh, and then those new Xboxes came out. Well, they're on pre-order, but
Yeah, they started the pre-order today, I believe, right, or yesterday.
yeah. But I'm not. I'm happy with what I got. So
Yeah,
I-
I'm more interested in another SSD card when they're more affordable.
yeah.
Even now, because I'm buying more PC, or I'm playing more of these games on PC when they come.
Yeah.
I less need that, and so for type of SSD that I bought, I haven't gotten around to doing the video of it, installing it or anything. But for those who don't rock PC, you're probably looking to get one eventually, because a lot of games coming. A lot of games
Yeah,
coming. So either you get
tons
yourself a
of
spinning hard drive to have an
I mean, you
archive
still
and
got
have the
Towerborn also coming
over.
out.
Towerborn.
I didn't
Yep,
mention
another
that one.
game.
Where's
Yep.
my-
Yeah, but that's next year.
Yeah, but they got early
yeah.
access on next month though.
Yeah, early
So
access.
we,
is
so,
like-
so we
and
getting
if
that
you're
early
alpha-
access.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I
getting
thought
that
I
early
heard
access. And if you're on the alpha, you can play it right now, because Beast of Truth is on the dashboard, alpha dashboard, and you got access to it. So
So here's some dates I got. So Indiana Jones is December 9th this year.
Mhm.
Beyond Galaxy is September 24th. That's that pixelated one. Akimbot, which is the Ratchet and Clank lookalike, is August 29th, so it's just in a few days at the end of the month.
What?
Yeah. And then Towerborn is 9/10 for early access. Atomfall is next year, March of 2025.
And I know two off the top of my head. Okay, Shattered Space is September 20th.
Yes.
And we were talking earlier about Space Marine because I bought the CD key, right?
Yeah.
If you pay for either one of the two upgraded versions and not the base version, you get the game 5 days early, which will be September 5th.
Yeah.
Regular release is September 9th. So you get to play it 4 days early if you have either of the DLC versions. But I bought a CD key that'll give me access to that key September 5th.
There you go, bro.
Yeah.
There you
go. A good amount of games coming out.
Borderlands
Right there.
4 next year, supposedly, unless they push it.
Probably not. I don't think they just. I think they're really early with that. That's probably not even next year. That's probably a year after next year.
And then
Even then, at the earliest.
That's it. There's no other dates that I have for even the ones I showed up or showed. I don't even have a date for Dying Light DLC. I don't know when that is.
No,
There's no date for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is no date.
That's
Okay.
So
what have you guys been playing?
man, I still been playing ever since I left QuakeCon. I still playing the hell out of 100 Heroes.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I've been playing?
And I've been trying to build up my base because I need
100 Heroes.
Yeah. That's a Yuden Chronicle one.
Okay, it is the RPG. Right. This is what I was about to interject because I've been playing an RPG as well too. I've been playing Octopath Traveler.
I haven't played that one.
I saw that. I started to text
man.
or message you on Xbox.
Yeah, man. I've been playing that.
How you liking it?
I'm liking it. I'm just, I'm just playing it and I'm having a good time. I'm not even really thinking about it. It just compels me to play. So it must be good, right? Because a good game that you're enjoying will compel you to play it.
Yeah.
And it's compelling me to play it. So
Hell.
Yeah. I don't have to think to be convince myself to play it. No, man, I automatically go and play it. And
The only thing that gets under my skin with this 100 Heroes that I'm playing is trying to find certain material to upgrade my base. And I'm always running into a battle with these stupid, enemies that I'm going against. I'm like, I just want to find material. And fishing is like one of the most boring things you can do. I don't know. I hate fishing in any game. Cannot stand doing fishing
Really?
missions. Yes. Cannot stand
usually
it.
in RPGs, that's like a fun pastime. Usually.
Fishing.
Yeah, bro. It's usually the mechanics are well done, shit like that. They're usually a fun pastime they do in RPGs.
Like I'm glad there's no hunting for animals. Then I would have just
like
given
that.
up on the game if it was hunting.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I don't like doing all that. And I'm glad there's no have to your certain clothes for certain biomes, especially if you're going to a winter place, you better have a coat. And I was like, no. I just want to play the game. I don't care about the coats. I don't care if the lady's wearing a bikini. Let her go to the mountain and battle the ice monsters or whatever. It's like, I enjoy it because it's a nice chill game. But sometimes like the building out the base thing is like, I know I need it because I need to up my guys, to upgrade my guys. And, but finding the material is so insane. It's like, okay, I need to do this. Luckily, they tell you where the material's at. So if you hover over a building that you need, you press like a button and it tells you need these materials and it's located at this biome or this map. Just go there and look for it. I'm like, okay, well that helps. But it's a long game, man. That 100 Hero, I didn't think I was gonna like stick it out, and I was like, all right, I'm sticking to it because I'm almost.
That's by Konami, right? Konami has made a different type of RPG series from Suikoden, right? Lots of characters, like what is it, 108 characters you meet or something
I
like
think
that?
there's 120 of them in there.
120. So yeah. So I imagine that game is like the same sort of ilk, and even Octopath Traveler, I've got like 4 people in my team already, but it seems like, I'm walking to a town, eventually I cross paths with some character that I'll walk past, and all of a sudden the game will focus on this character, right?
Yeah.
It starts telling you their whole backstory.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually now you're. Oh, so you played and beat this game?
No. But that's how it
Almost.
it's kind of like 100 Heroes is like you.
Right.
If you want a
That's what I'm
character
saying.
to
They're
join
all
your
like that.
party or your list of heroes, that
You have to learn their story. You play a whole cutscene thing.
Yeah,
and somehow
their
you get
character
involved
may
and then
ask
you
you,
deal with their shit.
I need you to find me
Yeah.
this recipe because it's the best recipe ever. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like, where is it? Last time I saw it was over at this place. I'm like, okay, let me go over there and go get it and bring it back.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, I'll join your party.
Yep. And they have their abilities or whatnot, and you know, like you're saying with that with food or whatever, so now they bring a cooking skill or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like 100 and something characters, and I'm already thinking that this game here, what's the name already? I was gonna say Overwatch. Oh, Jesus Christ, help my old ass out. What is the name of this game I said I was playing?
Octo something.
Octopath Traveler.
Thank you, Octopath. Yeah, man, I figure it's the same ilk, bro. I'm gonna meet hundreds of people. I'm gonna meet 100 people throughout the play of this game potential.
Now, if you
I've
ask
bought
me
those games.
to play a game like 100 Heroes, maybe 10 years ago, I would have said nope.
Right?
Mhm.
I would have said nope.
But now you'll mess with it.
Now I'll mess with it, yeah, because I
Yeah,
played
because they ain't gotta pay for it.
because I played the previous one, the Ayuden Rising, I think it was called. I played that one.
sounds-
Ayuden Chronicles, right?
Yeah.
Ayuden Chronicles, that's the one.
Ayuden Chronicle Rising is what it's called. The previous one I played, and I actually played it and finished it.
Nice. I've been playing some. Other than that, I've still been playing Devil Played Reboot. Still, you know, still loving
my
that game. I
God.
got somebody else hooked on it. You know, I hope that comes to other platforms. Like I said, I would if it comes to Switch and PlayStation, I will buy those versions digitally just to support. Hopefully, it comes to Xbox as well. But like I said,
What game was that?
Devil Blade Reboot. It's like a shooter.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about that for a month.
Right. So what I noticed was the engine that the guy used, right? It's on Steam. You could buy it. It's like $25. It's called Shooting Game Builder, right? Well, there's another game, Andro Dunos 2, I think it is, right? Which uses that same engine. And it's on everything. It's on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, right? So I'm hoping that this is also capable of. In fact, I also think that's on Android and iOS too. So I'm hoping that this guy releases this game on all those, and I will buy every version just to support because it was like $15. In fact, it's usually on sale for like 50% off, ending up being like 13 exchange.
Yeah.
I love seeing little shit like that, so I'm still rocking that. Still trying to learn how to get, you know, because I beat the game on easy mode. I gotta learn how to do it in normal. Then
Oh, wasn't somebody clowning me about playing easy mode?
Me?
in games? You were,
That too.
you were, not me.
I mean,
I'm
sick
old
too.
now. No, I was not. I'm old. Man.
Yeah, you joined in. Yeah, you joined
I-
in. He was playing.
I did.
He was
not.
playing.
I did not.
What's the name of that game with Nor? What's the name of that game, man? Flintlock. He was playing Flintlock or Easy,
Flintlock,
talking about he didn't
yes.
have a challenge.
Hey, let me tell you that final
You
boss.
thought it was easy. So I'm like, nah, you can't do that. And then say it was easy.
That
Play it on easy. Get out.
Yeah, we didn't try to rag on him for playing easy, but we ragged on him for saying it was too easy
Yeah.
when he chose
Right,
it.
That's what we did. That's what we did.
Hey,
Yeah.
that final boss on Flintlock was freaking tough, man. I told you why.
Even on easy.
Even on easy, only because that stupid prompt never showed up. I told you about that at the
Yes.
Again.
Yes, you did. Yeah,
Dude,
I remember
QuakeCon.
that now.
QuakeCon.
Time it. Yeah,
It's like,
QuakeCon.
it's like I'm not getting that prompt, and I was like, so as when I brought the beast down, I went up to it and started just spamming my button looking for the prompt. I'm like, all right, boom, finally locked in and finished the game.
So check, look, I've been on a Metroidvania kick,
Yeah.
right?
Ooh, speak
So-
to me. Speak to me.
So like, it started with Blasphemous. I keep saying
that
Blasphemous. You guys
goofy
haven't played it.
Religion showing their titty game or something.
Oh man, you gotta look into
Titties?
it, man.
Titties? What?
And it's a
It's a-
man with it's a man with a
It's a
titty.
man with a like feeding a baby with his
No,
boob.
But
Yeah,
I've done that.
okay,
I'll
okay,
take it.
okay. But you got to look at it. It's a curse. He was cursed.
it's a curse. Yes.
You know what I mean? If I remember the story correctly, he allowed his baby boy to get hurt in the mother, so he had to feed the baby, and he was cursed to sit there feeding the boy. His titty won't stop shooting milk. So it's like the spirit of the boy. It's weird stuff, but once you get past that and get into the actual gameplay, I like Blasphemous 1 so much I bought 2. And that made me say, okay, I like Metroidvanias because I haven't liked Metroid or necessarily Castlevania. For one, I thought they were too hard, and I don't like getting lost. That's what happened to me with Metroid back in the day, Castlevania back in the day. I was a baby though. I was a little kid, so it's like, oh hell no, I don't want to play this, you know. And
We share it.
so after Blasphemous, I was looking up all of the best Metroidvanias. So I got all of the best Metroidvanias, and I'm on a mission to conquer them all. One of the Metroidvanias, I went to see if anybody else was having issues getting the game started, and I see the one and only SIKSLAYER in his review there, Cave Story.
From way back when, and I
Yeah.
I noticed in the picture.
It's
what I
it's
said,
an old
like,
game.
Yeah, it was.
It's an old game.
But just like I said in that little comment of mine, I said it was the one that started the indie revolution on the PC side. It really was.
And if you read beneath yours, there are other people with the same sentiment. This is the game. This is the game that got me to start taking indie seriously. But anyway, I've tried it on my PC. I've tried it on everything but my Steam Deck, and it won't work. You know, like the screen is like either too small or way too big and off the screen. So I said, I won't play that one. But I've been playing and then Legal told me to play Code of the Land Forever. And my nephew, we share, so he bought it. But you know the game I've been playing a lot, Tech? It's a game we both already beat. But he bought it because it's $3 on Steam. So I was like, man, let me play it. And I've been playing it. Dying Light.
Oh, again?
The Dying Light 1.
Oh, 1.
I love Dying Light, bro. I'm probably gonna buy Dying Light 2 because you can get the Beast, but the way they have it structured is you have to pay $60 for the Ultimate to get Beast included. But on Xbox, I already have.
Split second. I own Blasphemous 1, but not Part 2. I think I have it on my wish list probably.
Play it whenever you can, because so I've beaten those 2 already. No way, it's hard. No diddy. So look, I've beaten those 2. There's one called The Last Faith. I just got another one that's on the list for free from Epic today. Can't remember what that was called, but I'll probably start that one further down the line. But for the past couple of days, man, I've been playing Wukong. And
I was just about to ask you,
the messenger sick. I've been playing. I got
the Messenger. I got that too.
That's not really a Metroidvania, but it makes all of the Metroidvania lists. It looks like a Metroidvania, but it's not the same. It's more like a platformer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I got like 5 hours into that one. I've been like, that's what I've been doing. It's good for the batteries on my portables, and like
because they're 2D and all that. Yeah, so it runs on a toaster. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? And plus, man, they're fun. Like,
yes.
With gaming going the way it's going, with everybody thinking that they need to make true to life video games, it feels good to go back and play a game and just have fun. You know what I mean? Because that's what gaming was supposed to be about, having fun. That's why I'll always like Nintendo for what they do. They've stuck to the core, which is fun, making fun games.
You realize when I first got my ROG Ally and I told you what games I put on in, or even my Steam Deck, but I think more specifically when I was mentioning, what games I had on my ROG Ally, it was those types of games, and you were like, "Oh, I see you really rocking with these indie type shit," but now I see you're starting to do a lot of that.
Well, my thing is that we were talking about batteries. Like, I'm playing AAAs, so like my battery's gonna be trash. I never
Mhm.
take a dump on anything that anybody plays.
Oh no, you didn't do that, but you were like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm playing a lot of those,
because
but I noticed you doing the same thing. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah, because man, Blasphemous, man, it's like I've bought it 5 times because Blasphemous 1 because it was always on sale. I got it on Switch, I got it on Xbox, I got it on PlayStation 5, and I got it on PC. And I was like, man, I'm gonna stick to it because I thought it was too hard. I thought it was hard just to be hard, you know. I don't like games which where their primary, I guess, elongating factor or play time is just because it's so difficult. You have to run through it 50 million times. Souls games. The reason why it takes somebody 50 hours is because one boss or two bosses kick their butts 100 times.
Yep.
So like I don't like that. And so I said, let me just hang in there because I forgot who it was, but somebody I know told me it was. And then y'all probably don't know him, but he goes by Yamato. He goes by some other T name. He always has some Japanese name, but he's my boy. He's on the social media app too, Twitter too, or X. He was like, man, I'm just killing all the Metrovanias, and he was, man. He beat Zao. He like it was a bunch of every time I see him on Steam, it's either Overwatch or Metrovania. And he told me Zal was trash. And I was like, man, I'm having fun with Zal. But anyway, I've been on those
Sweet Baby
kicks.
Inc.
Like
It's fault.
yeah. I mean, no,
Yeah. So really,
I don't
okay. Before you forget, to get back to talking about your experiences with Black Myth.
Oh, you want me to tell you about Black Myth? Black Myth is a
Yeah.
Souls game.
So you really think it's a Soul game after all?
Me and my boy Jersey, who's like one of the biggest Souls fans I know. He's arguing with me that it's not a Souls game on Twitter or yeah, Twitter. And I'm like, bro, come on. You're gonna go, that's not an RPG on me right now, bro. Because you know, like the RPG community is like really gatekeeping what's an RPG and what's not.
Yeah.
And I agree with them, but I'm not gonna argue with anybody about it.
Right.
This
But you
game
agree
is
with them anyway. Why would you argue with people that you agree with? You know what I'm saying?
well, I'm not gonna argue with the people like Queen Trash
Right.
there was or Gamester. Like
Mhm.
Gamester, I don't know if y'all know him, but like
Yeah, I know.
he made a whole video about me because I don't agree with him. But okay, it's not okay. Final Fantasy is not what an RPG is, right? RPG started from board games.
Yep.
Board games require roles. See, there's a whole the
Wizardry.
Den Master, the whole thing, right? There has to be random, right?
Yeah.
That's why some of these games have multiple endings. There's supposed to be choice. This is why Dungeons and Dragons Baldur's Gate brought back so many of the RPG, CRPG purists because it introduced all of those elements. You had chance with the dice rolls. You had your rolls. You could choose your meat size. You could choose your cooter. You could choose whatever you wanted to choose.
All that stuff that's
So,
going to
like,
be behind the scenes, they put it in your face with the dice and everything to show you, oh no,
Right.
this is the RPG ultra nerd style Dungeons and Dragons,
Right.
like the old school that these games were always trying to emulate in the first place.
And so, like, people don't understand when you see an action RPG like a Cyberpunk or Witcher, why hardcore people call those RPGs and not your Final Fantasies or your Elder Scrolls. Right. And so, like, we got into it. He contacted me, and I don't know why. No, I don't agree with you. But look, this is fine. I'm not going to be disrespectful. That's my problem with him. I agree with the dude most of the time, but he's disrespectful. So anyway, he's gonna say, "Oh, a Souls game needs to have this, this, or that." Bro, when you play the game is difficult. You have these checkpoints. The only difference is there's no parry. All you're doing is dodging, and you're going for perfect dodge.
Right, no parry. It's a dodge.
Like, and your dodges refill your focus. Your focus allows you to cast spells. So more than like where a Souls game is parry punish. Once you get your opponent off of their mark, you punish it because they're staggered because you did a perfect parry. This game is not about doing a perfect dodge. You know, like even I don't know about you, Stick, like with Assassin's Creed. When you do a perfect dodge, you punish
Right.
because they'll give you some slow mo and you get
Right.
to
They wide open. You
punish.
get to really beat them down. Right. And that's where you really
No,
get the damage in
you
on the
could
enemy.
you could you better perfect dodge until you find a perfect opening.
Yeah.
Because you perfect dodge and thinking it's time to punish, the dude's coming back. He's gonna hit you with a backhand. He threw an overhand, but now he's about to throw a backhand at you, and then he's about to do a spinning punch and slam the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Combo.
it's like it's a dodge. You have to do dodges. You need your potion. Well, for me, I didn't know that I was supposed to pass by some of these guys and come back later. I fought this wandering white. You can look him up, WIGHT, like whites that are in Elder Scrolls, the demons, the baby with the tail, with the big helmet. You're not really supposed to go fight him as soon as you see him. You're supposed to go do some other stuff, then come back for him. It took me like an hour to beat that dude. And then when I beat him, I couldn't even collect the booty. Like you get like some stuff he drops, and I couldn't even collect it because I wasn't leveled up enough to collect it. So like, dang, I did all that just to not be able to collect it. Thought I lost it, but if you go on a little longer, you get to go collect it. The bosses are hard. Look, if you're a Souls fan, I think you love it. It's really. I hate using boss rush, but it's a
You know
boss
what it
rush.
reminds me of? It's not exactly a boss rush. Well, no,
Oh
no.
yeah, it is.
80%. It's 80% of the boss rush, but it's more like a treasure game, right? Because treasure games like that. It has a little bit of gameplay. You fight a couple of mooks, then boss.
Right.
A couple more mooks, boss. And
Yeah, that's why I call it a boss
treasure
rush,
games
bro.
do that in all types of genres. They do that with shoot 'em ups. They do that with action games. Their first game, Gunstar Heroes, was like that. It was just a little bit, a couple of mooks, you shoot around, blah blah, and boss, right? And you run
Yeah.
around, you shoot some more, boss. This was Gunstar Heroes on the Genesis back in the day. But they do that with all types of genres of game, but it's still just that, boss rushes,
Yeah.
but with a little bit of
Yeah.
gameplay in between.
Like the first area that you're in, there are four bosses.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the areas, there's like a bunch of little pathways. The areas are not huge, but they're a bunch of little paths. And like, dude, I ran. I thought I was running by one boss, but I actually ran by two bosses. Then I go back to fight all the bosses that I passed up. It's like you might fight a few guys, and then you got a big boss.
Mm.
Your shrines reset the enemies. Uh, Everything about it is a Souls game to me, other than the defensive system, right? And you don't lose your stuff when you die. You know how like in
You have to go back to it.
any Souls game,
Right.
whatever they call it, it can be called spirit, it can be called tokens, whatever it is. You drop them on the ground when you die, and you got to go
Right.
collect it before you die again. That doesn't happen.
Right, but what's the punishment that they give you for dying multiple times? Because there is something I remember, like I always mentioned that
I haven't been
on that
punished.
video
If there's
from for dying multiple times
there
in
easy mode?
when Easy Allies was talking about. Remember me? I'm saying that
if,
they
there,
broke down
if
the
there's
game.
if there's a punishment, I haven't had it yet, and maybe mine's bugged, and maybe I shouldn't do the update. I don't know if I want to beat it. Like they said, it wasn't a Souls game. I said, let me see, because I know a Souls game when I see one. At least I know, because like one of the reviews, it says they don't want to claim to be a Souls game, but they're definitely trying to get the Souls players. See,
Right,
the thing about these games is like when there's a trend, these guys say, let's make one, because there are 5 other Souls games in the making right now. One of them I know that's being made by one person. The game that's skipping Xbox, Enotria, there's another Souls game. There's so many Souls games being in development right now, and so now you got people. And this is what I was telling you, Sick, back with Elden Ring was going on. Souls was niche before Elden Ring.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are hoping to recapture the same thing. But at the same time, it's like you got a dedicated fan base of about 5 to 10 million people that will be interested that may or may not buy your game.
Right,
But on average, they're going to sell between 500 to 2 million on these games. They're not all going to be $25 million, 25 million unit sellers. It just
right.
is what it is. And so they don't want to be called a Souls game because a lot of people are like, why does every game need to be a Souls game? And so they're saying we're not a Souls game, we're action adventure or action RPG, but no, it's a Souls game, bro.
So
It's a
people,
Souls game.
other than platform people beefing with each other about Xbox, PlayStation, other than Android people and iPhone people beefing with each other, Android bad,
Right.
this one's trash, yada yada yada.
Right.
So now you got people beefing over Souls game that's may not be a Souls game, but plays like a Souls game, but they don't want to be they don't want to identify it as a Souls game
Because it's trying to ape a lot of it, but it's not exactly. But it's enough of the flavor.
enough elements in it.
Because they're trying to get those types of fans in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, they want to do what Elden Ring did.
Right.
A lot of people bought Elden Ring not knowing what they bought. A lot of people bought Elden Ring not knowing that they bought a freaking Souls game.
I did that with the.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that they were getting a flat out RPG with dragons and it was by George R.R. Martin. Telling you, I know. This is why so many people are crying that they can't play the DLC because they didn't beat the game. This is why you got people crying for difficulty. They didn't have a difficulty setting. I read one of the reviews on I read like 20 of them. Most of them I was looking forward to Chinese ones because I think it's cool that we get to play with China people, not the people at the top. You know what I mean? And the political part, just people. You know, I love people. I love everybody. So I want to, we don't talk to people from China. I mean, we don't like they normally separate China from us and us from them. That's why we're like with this game, they were saying, "Oh, you can't say anything negative about China or their politics during your streams if you're going to stream this game."
Yeah,
so that means that
it was a whole list, and one of the funniest things to me because
that means they're watching.
Even if you stream here in America,
right, is saying no feminist, shit. I was like, drizzle. As soon as I saw that, I had me laughing. It's like, they know what they feel to be toxic, right? That like Chinese feel to be toxic, but other things aspects on that list are things how it is over there in China, right? So you see that in that rule list, and so for all these press outlets who wanted to get a code, they were sitting there whining about that shit because they knew it was fucking them up. But there was that one review that had nothing negative to say about the game, but when they were listing, the positives and the negatives.
Oh, so you read them?
They gave it a bad review because they're not allowed
of politics.
Because they're not allowed to talk politics. No, because it doesn't have politics in it, and that they wanted to talk about politics. What the fuck?
Oh,
what's that got to do with the game?
Yeah.
Like one person gave it a 0 because the developer. I had to read it 3 times to understand because it was through Translate. Yeah. One of the top people from the company was by the avatar of somebody who represents something politically. I'm like, it must be somebody dead, and so he gave it a 0. He said the game is an 8, but he gave it a red 0. So like,
and that's the thing they're openly letting you know they have a logical bias against the game. Like it's otherwise an 8, but after this game on some dumb shit that's not really important about nothing.
Yeah, if you're a guy that loves those games, you give it an 8, 9, or 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the graphics are nice. I'm pulling 70. It's smooth. I haven't had it stuttered twice, but always in areas that are wide open, probably loading from area to area. You know what I mean? Like detail, like distance. It's things like that. I would say if you like Souls games, get it. But for me, I don't love Souls games, but I'll play. I like them. Some of them, especially ones that play like this. I love it when they play. I like Sekiro. I'm gonna say I like this one, right? I don't like Dark Souls. I don't like Demon Souls or Bloodborne.
Yeah, see all the ones that you're naming where there's extra, like the punishment for failure and stuff is very harsh, right?
I don't care about the punishment. I don't like the clunkiness.
The clunkiness. You think the clunkiness, so the difficulty, you feel the difficulty is artificial because it's really clunky, like Nintendo hard, right?
Okay, you
Like
know
back
how
in
like
the day?
like when you swing, it's like your weapons hit the ground type stuff. It's like they want. It's I know what they're trying to do.
Trying to make it
They
realistic.
want to make they want to make sure not realistic. They want to make sure that you make your swings count, and so
Okay.
you get punished when you miss. So if you swing an axe, it slams, and then it takes you like a half second to pull it up. So, but if you hit, you staggered, so you're fine every time you hit.
Right.
When you swing your sword, you make sure you hit. Make sure all of your swings count. But I like to be able to counter and rebound. You know what I mean? That's why
Hmm.
even in Elden Ring, I chose the dual wield. I want to be able to. I want to be nimble. But like when you play Bloodborne, it's like hit, and if you miss, you get punished. And I understand. I just don't like it. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's cool. I mean, if you like it, you like it. I don't. And with this game, I can miss. I can cancel mid combo. Well, you have to earn that perk. So
Right.
if I know I just put my wang in my butt, I'll go ahead and pull out,
Oh,
hit right in the middle of my combo, and then go right back into it. You know what I mean? I like to be nimble. I like to feel like Assassin's Creed. I like those. I play them on difficult, but I like to be able to recover because I was smart enough to know I missed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm looking at. But like a lot of what I wasn't saying, I'll leave it alone. A lot of these companies. That's why you see a whole lot of uh hero shooters coming back, right?
Yes.
But by the time these companies are able to get their games out, that is no longer the fad. You know what I mean? And like
Hmm.
s- this game was announced years ago. Like they've been showing gameplay for 3 years, and people have been getting hyped about it. But then
Because of the
it's
graphics
all
and
the
stuff.
soul it's
Because
all
of the
the Souls
graphics.
community.
Yeah.
But it's the
Yeah. Well.
Souls community that's hyped.
Well. Now, but when it was first shown, we didn't know what kind of game it was. Right. It just looked
Hmm.
graphically crazy. And then as we learned more, we saw more. Right. We started realizing it might be Souls-esque. And then
Yeah.
yeah, it seems
Yeah,
like
okay, whatever
and then
make these guys happy,
and
man.
then yeah, they started
Because
focusing clearly.
because all of a sudden Sickle start getting a whole bunch of people commenting because we called it a soul something, or they felt like we said something bad about
don't
soul.
call
That
it that.
that might be the worst community in gaming, the souls community.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
good.
yeah.
They're good when
Ain't
you
gonna lie.
rock with them, but when they feel like you hurt their feelings or said something bad about their
Hmm.
genre or game, do these people come out en masse and force to try to cancel people, to try to embarrass people? I mean, that whole thing, you know about it with the dude who does TVs and the Act Man, or I don't know
Hmm.
if it's Act Man or Synthetic Man. It was one of the mans, and like they were unleashing their armies of weirdos on these people. It's like, golly,
Uh-huh.
this is crazy. But yeah, I mean, and so now they don't want to be called souls. They want to be, but dude, everything but those two things that I've been able to identify is a Souls game. It's not. Yeah, it is. I guess it is kind of story rich. They have very nice cutscenes. It is very nice to look at. Uh, it's if you like pretty stuff, that it's a pretty game. Still pretty,
Purdy. Yeah, Purdy game.
purdy,
Purdy.
purdy.
It's purdy. Nice.
Purdy game.
It's pretty.
How's the heat down
Very
there, man?
purdy.
Dude, you guys have higher temperatures than us.
We've been having 105. Dude, Tuesday when I went to
Yeah,
the
bro.
game.
I thought it was fake.
No.
I
Hey,
saw
yo,
100.
I saw 106 in Dallas. I'm like, it's hotter in Dallas than it is here.
106 we got hit with, man.
Yeah, but our real field is 106, but the temperature will be like 99. But
Dude, when I
the
went to the
humidity is
when I went to the
horrible.
game Tuesday and I had my black shirt, I had shorts on, so that kind of cooled me off. But still, that black shirt was absorbing everything, man. I had to get in the shade quick.
Yeah, that
Who's
was
your
that
ass
was the
wearing
first
a
thing I
black
said to you.
shirt? Who didn't
Hey,
they teach you
right.
that in elementary?
What about the
Yeah,
black?
man. That's,
No, I
yeah,
know
Black
this.
absorbs.
Okay, I
Yeah.
know this, but it's the only pirate shirt that I
Well, don't
had.
come crying to me about it, bro.
yeah, that's the thing. And you're not valid to complain about it.
Hey.
You chose to do this, bro.
Hey,
Not
if I had
Valentine's with
if
that.
I had a yellow shirt, then I'd be all for it. Man, I mean, I'll be fine. But I didn't have one. It's the only shirt I got is Pirates. But I did have a yellow cap though. All right, it reflected off the head. I was full. I was cool.
Yeah, because bro, we went to the what is not the Wolf Lodge, the Gaylord.
Yeah.
My wife tried to pack me a black T-shirt. I said no. She said, but don't you like it? I said it's not about that. She bought that shirt. She bought it brand new. I was like, I'm not wearing a black shirt in Texas in the summertime. She was like, I wear black. I said, so what? You do it, dude. I wore a black shirt. It wasn't even black. It was like a dark ashy black, like gray black.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got out of the car. It felt like somebody put an iron on my back. Like literally, it felt like somebody ironed my shirt, and I put it on as soon as they finished ironing it. That's how hot it was. It just felt like something was just sitting on my back, burning me.
That's how it was.
Oh,
on Tuesday,
hell no.
man. Tuesday was bad. 105, 106. So they were mentioning us up here, down there. It's like Dallas,
I
106.
I saw it. I saw it on the. I was eating at one of those fast food places, and they had the Weather Channel on, and it was nationwide weather, and it said Dallas 106. I'm like, what the? Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know the temperature got that high up there. That is hot.
I think last year, that same day, I think it hit like 108 is what we got at one point. Yeah.
Man, this thing.
And we had like
fire.
20 days of 100 straight last year. It was bad.
It's crazy, bro. I didn't know that y'all's temperatures got that high because y'all get
does.
snow and stuff when it's winter, and so like I felt like y'all might be getting away from the whole heat stuff.
No, man, it gets there, man. Like today, luckily we hit 99. We didn't hit the 100, but even then, man.
But that's good. Y'all's 99 is 99. Our 99 is 105.
Yeah.
Real feel because of the humidity down here.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't like arid because arid makes your lips dry and all kinds of other stuff. But the humidity makes you sweat until you get dehydrated. So like they both have their
and you feel horrible. But when I went to Arizona, when it was hot as fuck but dry, you don't realize you're sweating because it evaporates instantly. You feel dry, but you're losing all this moisture in your body, and you dehydrate, and you feel it coming, and then you mess the hell up, and you effed up after that, bro. So I was warned about this repeatedly, and it didn't happen to me, but I could.
Oh yeah, you were there last year.
I could tell how that could have quickly hit me. You know, because it just felt like that.
Dude. I'll prefer the dry heat than the humidity heat any day.
Oh no, yeah, me too. But but the dry is dangerous. The wet is just uncomfortable because you're sweaty and sticky all the time. Yeah. And for me, that always makes me feel like I need a shower. Yes. Like here in the summertime at work, like I'll walk to work because it's nearby. Particularly in the summertime, I'll be fresh out the shower, bro. Fresh clothes on, wash the day before, lay them out.
He's doing dance moves on the sidewalk.
No, I'm not even walking very far, bro. Right? I'll be there in 10, 15 minutes of walking. Not even.
He's
right?
listening
I'll
to
do
some
that
Jamiroquai.
Some days not actually. Jamiroquai is on the playlist.
Are you trying to act like Jamiroquai don't jam? Is that what you're doing?
Jamiroquai jams. That's why I said it's on my playlist.
I'm not talking to you because you already said it's in the playlist.
Yeah,
TEKNOBLAST.
Me?
TEKNOBLAST.
Are you trying to say that Jamiroquai, the space cowboy, does not jam? Are you trying to say that his funky grooves aren't making you move? Is that what you're saying?
Not one song anyway. That's
man, you crazy. Jamiroquai got a little catalog, man.
I have no idea. I just know the one song. I'm not denying. I just know
which one you like? Which one?
Dude, if I was walking to work, I'd be playing some Wu-Tang.
Would you?
Video.
He got a lot of videos, man. Y'all being disrespectful right now.
Virtual Insanity. That's the only one I know. I'm not saying he doesn't have or any of that. I just know Virtual Insanity.
Playing some Bruno Mars.
Okay, well,
but anyway, my point
Virtual
was,
Insanity, Space Cowboy. Those will always be in one of the playlists. Y'all
all right, then
tripping.
Space Cowboy.
I'll
I
be
gotta look
playing
for
Y'all
that.
better put some
Wu-Tang.
spec on his name.
I put some
Indeed.
Wu-Tang. I play some Gangstar.
No, I do too. I do too. Wu-Tang Gang. Oh, I have so much stuff on my playlist. But anyway, what I was saying was,
Eric B. and Rakim. Come on.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
But I'll get to work and like freshly showered, fresh clothes. I remember one day my work shirt was brand new. I just gotten a new one from work.
It's all
I just got some new pants, so I'm wearing all new clothes. By the time I get there, I feel
called
sweaty
drip.
like I
You
need
gotta
to
say drip.
shower, bro. No, it was my work uniform. That's not drip. My work uniform can never be drip. You feel me? But like,
Yeah, talk like the cool kids.
I was like, damn. Why I feel like I need a whole shower all over again, like I'm dirty and smelly, and I shouldn't be around people, like I'm gonna embarrass myself, like my older sister's gonna come and beat my ass for being dirty and smelly. That's how I feel. Like, Jesus Christ.
always dirty and smelly.
I'm like, what the hell is this? You know?
Yeah. All right, guys. Six
Actually,
gotta
made
go. I gotta go.
Yeah, we made it.
Realist just wants to hang out, but we gotta go anyway.
Yeah, I just woke up, man.
He just woke up. He's full of
He
energy
just
right
woke up.
now. He took an old man nap. That's what he did. Old man.
No,
nap.
what it was is, man, I got in at like 12 o'clock.
Oh.
I slept in, and I had a short day, and then I started playing games all night. Next thing you know, I gotta wake the kids up,
Oh yeah. School.
get back on the game. I said, let me go to sleep. But see, I have an alarm that goes off 15 minutes before showtime to woke me up. Then Sick did his what does he call
That's
it?
the traditional.
His
call.
traditional call.
Traditional call.
And,
Sometimes you forget.
Yeah, well, that's why I set the alarm. Because
Yeah.
like a lot of times, like I be doing some work or I be at softball. That's why I always have the headphones with me. Anyway, so the alarm went off, and then probably like 2 minutes later, Sick calls like, "Hey, dang man, you sound." I said, "Yeah, I just woke up, man. I'll be there though." Yeah, because the alarm went off, and I was like, "What the hell? Who's calling me?" But it's the alarm going off.
I'm surprised he
TEKNOBLAST.
even answered you, Sick, because I sent a
Yeah.
text message on the day he went back home, and I said, "Hey man, you made it home okay?" And I just got a response last night or this morning. I'm sorry.
Look, I don't check because nobody really texts or call. Like nobody really texts. They call.
Yeah.
I kind of like, when I was in college, I had to write a paper. This was back before Facebook became the monster that it is today.
Yeah.
Defacing Facebook. Right? It was about an article. I had to write a paper about how Facebook was taking away verbal communication, face-to-face interaction, and I don't really text, but so most people around me don't text except for my daughter and my kids.
So what's everybody
Right?
use?
The others, they call me.
Oh.
Because I tell them, why don't you just call me? Isn't it nice to hear my voice? It's nice to hear your voice. Because most times I'm not going to see you.
They
You know what I mean?
text 'cause
Houston-
it's easier for them. They don't have to
They-
talk
they-
and get into
they don't-
protection
well,
of
because-
blah blah blah. They don't care about because they're only contacting you because they need something out of you one way or another.
Well, another thing too. Yeah, that's a part of it for some of them too. But the thing is, like, the people, like my sister,
Mm.
like, yeah, she always needs things from me. She's my baby sister. I'm way older than my brother's
That's
sister.
how that goes. That's how that
And
goes.
well, I got two sisters, two brothers. One of them's my daddy's baby. I'm 40, and they're in their 20s.
I like
So
how
yeah,
he
they come.
heard that part of his voice, like act like it's his mic. I'm 40.
No. I was thinking. I was, you know what I was about to do? I was about to start giving you all their ages. I'm like, that's not necessary. You know what I mean? They're way younger than me. So yeah, but like my mama, it's good to hear my granny. My granny doesn't text at all because she got to go find her glasses. So
Right.
we always call. My dad calls because he doesn't know how to text. He just never learned. He's 60. He's not that old. So anyway, that's why. So that's why. Just to give you a little bit about me, like, because Sick, I've been embarrassed to respond to Sick sometimes because Sick said Happy Thanksgiving one time. I was like, dang, 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. But I saw your text last night, and I was like, you know what? I'm
Oh,
gonna
when I text you
respond to
Happy
it.
Thanksgiving,
You did text me
you
Happy
saw it
Thanksgiving.
weeks later, and you saw it weeks later. You're saying,
Hey, look how you clowning me. I'm trying to let y'all know that I'm just not a piece of trash. If y'all
no,
call
no,
me,
no, 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 it's cool, but you just didn't see it. No, I get it, but you did.
But
Till
he
later.
responds
No,
to me.
I
A
didn't
week
see it.
later. I'm like, oh, he just got home.
Yeah.
It took him my whole.
No, no. What
Yeah,
happened was I
I know
looked,
you're busy, bro. Yeah,
and
you
I told you, and I told Sick before too. These whoever had this phone number first, these campaigners
Oh
have
yeah.
taken over my phone
Oh yeah.
to the point to where I can't. I have 30 text messages right now, and I report at least 10 every day to spam, and they
Mhm.
keep asking me to give money. They keep asking me.
I get
They,
those
they all
all the
have the
time.
same thing. They say, "We really need your help, Daphne. We
Daphne.
really need your help, Donna." And it's like, are they just guessing the right name? Because at first, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so it is what it is, man.
There must be some
Yeah,
kid had phone
you
number
guys go
4 and the
enjoy
name
your
started
night.
at D.
Yeah, you guys go enjoy your night. So I'm gonna go find some breakfast.
All right. Good night, guys. Bye. Peace.
Hasta luego,
Peace.
peace.
Hey, Ted.